Hold on, I'm just having a sip. Oh, this is the first podcast that we're ever gonna do. That's right.
Oh, keep going, all right.
No. Evening.
All caught up.
Oh, Leeds. They're the bane of my existence.
So, you right?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yes, I'm all right, thank you. I've got my Elvis juice.
I've got, I would like an Elvis juice, but I've got to drive, so I've got a Corona. Bearing in mind, Elvis juice is what, 6.5%, and
Yeah.
Corona is probably nowhere near that, so I appreciate your offering of alcohol. Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
Across from me is Aidan,
Hello.
aka Mr. A,
Hello.
Caroline's captain, keyboard player, bass player for multiple bands,
Hello.
and close mic speaker.
And you are?
My name's Karl.
And you do?
I've got no idea anymore.
Which is why we're doing this, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, kind of, yeah. I was thinking about it earlier on, and you suggested it, and I was like, is that something I want to do? Do we want to talk about ourselves for an hour or whatever? Mm-hmm. And then I thought, do you know what? Yeah, maybe, because I don't know what to say. I don't want to say I'm lost, but I definitely need something. I need something, and I've been on a musical journey of sorts. That's the cheesiest.
Well, my thinking is...
Yeah.
When did you move to Australia? What year was it?
10 years ago last year?
So we're thinking 2007... No, 2006.
Probably, around then.
Okay.
See, that's how bad my memory is.
And then how long were you there for?
Well, I moved back a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago.
So so you've been in Australia for 10 years then.
Mm.
So as far as we are concerned, these are the lost years of Karl, aren't they? Because you went as far away as you could possibly go.
Yeah, and it is physically the furthest most point far away from England, isn't it? Yeah, and it is the longest flight and the most expensive flight.
Yeah, and then you were there happily living your life, doing your musical things.
Yeah, I was. I just needed. I went. I crush. Can I swear? Mm-hmm. I shit myself. Well, no, honestly, that's the first thing I probably would like to talk about.
On the plane, or?
Well, no, not physically, but I got there after being, fairly successful over here. It was good. It was good times. You know what I mean? There was loads going on. It was busy. With Caroline's, with Toupe was going hell for leather, and it was fun. And I knew everyone. Everyone's lovely, and I made this decision to change it up and challenge myself, and actually got to the place where I was going to culminate all these thoughts that I'd had. And
so where did you? So Melbourne?
Yeah, Melbourne. Moved to Melbourne, and I moved to the peninsula. It's called the Mornington Peninsula on Melbourne, it's beautiful. It was beautiful. It's paradise. You know what I mean? I was literally living 100 metres from the beach. Very, very lucky and all that sort of stuff. Landed on my feet there. Mm-hmm. But musically, never did I realise so quickly it's completely who you know, not what you know. Because I've been playing bass a long time, fairly accomplished. I can I can get by and all that sort of stuff.
Pretty good.
But I didn't know anyone. I didn't know any musicians. I didn't even know the venues. I didn't even know how to get those two things together to make things happen. And I was panicking a bit because where I was is not necessarily a city. It's a bit out in the sticks a bit. And I was like, I want to play the big, be at the venue in St Kilda, which is the venue you want to play, But to do that, you got to work up to that. Mm-hmm. You got to work. Excuse me. You got to work up to that.
It's like coming to Hampton and
wanting
to play the Guildhall.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. And and I didn't know, and I lost my way a bit to start with there. So, I kind of went a bit insular, and I started doing a lot of my own recording, which I started in England, and I took with me over there, and I did I think a 6 or 7 track solo thing, which was like a bit of a baptism of fire for me, because it's the first time I sort of sang properly on anything. Now I listen back to it now, and I'm like, whoa!
What's it called? Which one's this?
It's called Tut Guruk.
So just to be completely open here, Karl has arrived with... Just grab those.
Yeah.
I got a streak.
Oh, go on.
There we go.
You got him? He's not
with this many CDs.
I'm glad you said CDs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 CDs. And then before we started, he wrote down a list
That's right.
of all the musical things he's been doing in Australia. And I'm counting here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things.
That's not bad, is it?
That's
kind of
amazing. That's amazing.
Well, it's freaked me out a bit because I thought when you actually asked me what have you been up to, I thought, oh, not much, bit of that, bit of this. But then when you actually prodded me a bit more and made me say, I thought, well, actually, I met this guy, I went on tour with them, I supported Imelda May,
Mm-hmm.
I got to see Australia for free because I was a side, as Mike Watt, my favourite bass player, so I was side mousing for a lot of other artists, and it was good times.
But that list doesn't that's not the list of someone who was finding it difficult to find their feet when they landed in Australia. So I'm interested to see, how did you land in Australia and feel kind of musically lost like you were, but then come back 10 years later and have a list like that?
I'll be honest, I met DJ Bluecast, which is what I like to say. So midway through finishing off these songs that I was doing my solo stuff, which I put on Bandcamp, which are available, and we'll put a link or something up.
Is this Plummo?
Plummo, yeah.
Plummo.
Yeah.
All right,
Well, actually, yeah.
Should we have a listen?
Yeah, put a bit on.
Okay, so that was Plummo.
Yeah, that.
That, can I just say, amazing drumming.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but you said it before me. And that was possibly one of the last things I remember doing before I left the UK with your brother, Rob, from Caroline's Capuchin Extraordinaire. He's amazing, blows my mind. And I literally put sets of mics up on his drum kit in your dad's.
Well, it was during recording our album for what?
It was around, yeah.
It was during those recording sessions, wasn't it?
Was,
and everything was set up, and he's like, "I've just got this tune I'd like to."
Yeah, and he smashed it out. And I literally played it to him once in sections and told him when to change the beat. And I was giving him countdowns, pointing at him, and it was awesome. He was amazing.
It was like a one-take wonder.
It was, and it was brilliant. And it's so much fun. And it's still, I'm really proud of the whole thing because there's no guitars on that. It's all bass, and it's a bit of singing. That I'm better nowadays. I'm better nowadays, people. But anyway, moving on.
So you arrived in Australia with these songs?
With the songs, yeah. And I spent the first time as a hermit, finishing them off, mixing them, producing them, whatever you call it. I don't know. In my early recording skills.
So you had like a studio at home, did you?
Yeah, I had a little home studio thing like most guys have nowadays, And I just did that, and that's when I met DJ Bluecast. And we created, and we basically started off as an awesome drinking buddy, really, you know what I mean? We would just, go around and hang out with each other, and we found music production software, and we started smashing out drum and bass tracks. I don't know, it's not in my nature. But, so full on drum and bass tracks, and we produced about 17 songs all in all. And we should drop one in, just quickly, because it's such a contrast to what we've just heard.
So what are we going to listen to?
I think it's probably either going to... let's go with a bit of Faithless Flow.
Okay. Here we go, a bit of Faithless Flow. I feel like Simon there.
I got the faceless flow. I got the faceless flow. I got the faceless flow. Yeah!
Wow, God, that was a bit different.
Yeah, I tell you, we set out. I like drum and bass. You know, like Tupac used to have some drum and bass sort of blast beats and all that sort of stuff. And but this was full on. This was fully programmed. You know what I mean? We were using software all the time. There was hardly any live playing apart, and even if it was live playing, it was on like a micro Korg to get that real fuzzy sort of dirty bass tones and all this sort of stuff. And
what did you wear?
I'm
imagining like Daft Punk helmets. And...
No. It was vests and which over there are called singlets.
Okay.
And really skimpy shorts because it's really hot. I'm telling you, and you don't feel so bad.
Vests and skimpy shorts.
Skimpy shorts. Two fully grown men.
Your hardcore drum and bass.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so curry stained vests because you're too lazy to get changed. But anyway, no, and it was good times, but. Obviously, I knew, I need to play. I can't sit in front behind a computer and just program. So I answered an advert in a paper and thought I've got to get to the city with anything. And
so the city, like,
well, I was about I can't even remember now. 70, 70 k's away from the city, Melbourne City.
Okay.
I was in a suburb way out, and so it was a bit of a drive. You know what I mean? It's like gigging in London. Basically, almost, you know what I mean? So it's like when you're in Southampton and you've got a gig in London, it's a bit of an evening, you know what I mean? But to go and rehearse in the city was a bit, it's just like, come on. But I was just keen. And so Dave Anderson was a guy I answered an advert for. He needed a bass player. So I took my electric upright bass up to the city, had a rehearsal, and I'll be brutally honest, first rehearsal I thought, not coming back here.
Right.
Because it just wasn't what I was used to. I love...
You're talking about the music or...
Yeah, just... it was not fugazi. It was not hard or hitting or heavy or anything that I've been done.
Is that how Australia's just generally different to here? Or?
I don't know. I think... I didn't know that at the time, but Dave Anson indirectly taught me that Australia does have a very different music scene about concerning coffee shops, man. It's if you can play a Sunday session at a pub and you've got an acoustic set with with someone sitting on a cajon and a double bass and an acoustic guitar, you're gonna
your singlets
with your singlets and your pride showing in your skimpy shorts, you're gonna do all right financially. But that's where the money is, and so that's what I did, and I played a lot of double bass for him, and he called me back, and I went back up, and I kept going, and we got a set of songs together. He already had an album out, which very different to what I'm used to, but just a diamond geezer, lovely guy. The bandmates were lovely people. Again, we had Bridget on the violin and keys, and she was amazing. And what a singer in her own right. And she actually had written another album as well. We should try and link these people to, because they should hear it. It's beautiful, beautiful music. But Glenn on drums, and it was...
So 4-piece, was it?
Yeah, it was a 4-piece. And just so different to what I was used to. But I didn't have anything else. And it was my lifeline for a long time. Yeah, and it got me out gigging. And we played some wicked gigs. And we played the tennis. We played while the tennis was on in Rod Laver Arena. You know what I mean? It was awesome.
Where? Sorry, is this like a big tennis?
Yeah, it's the Melbourne Cup, the tennis Melbourne Cup.
Right.
Dave would land these big gigs for us, and it was fantastic. I couldn't believe it. And we think the crowd's cheering for us. But then we look left and there's a massive tennis screen, and they're all just watching the tennis, and they don't give a why is this music bothering us in the background? Honestly, that's what it was. But we had good times, and sadly, the second batch of songs we wrote haven't ever been recorded, and this is from 10 years ago. And
so there's a lost album somewhere. Isn't
it is, and I'd love to get it out there because there were some really, really good songs that were written as a band. You know what I mean? And hopefully Dave still knows them, and I'm going to appeal to him. Dave,
if you're listening.
Dave, if you're listening, with the other 3 people that are possibly listening.
Hi, man.
Yeah, and Nan. Man, let's get it going on. let's get it going on. Let's finish that because it's worthy. I thought,
Yeah.
But let's play 'em how different that is. Imagine going from drum and bass, hardcore, 4 nights a week, to then this beautiful stuff.
So what are we going to listen to now then?
I think it's called "Love Is a Fairy Tale."
Love is a Fairy Tale. What can you tell us about this song?
This was Dave wrote this song, and I think I'm not actually the bass player on this recording.
Okay.
I only ever played this with him live, but he produced a lot of this, and the whole album is really nicely produced. And he's got the Paul Kelly. I don't know if Paul Kelly's a name over here, but in Australia he's a big name, and he's got that singer-songwriter vibe, catchy vocal. Songs about. He had another song called "Simple Pleasures," which is literally about. Simple pleasures in life. It goes without saying things like this. You know what I mean? It's what you need. It's what we all need. But have a listen, see what you think.
Tell me all of your secrets. And tell me what I want to know. Tell me how to get inside of your head, to have an hold and not let go. It's only in our dreams we're dancing, and love it seems so far away. Cinderella and Prince Charming, they taught me love was just a fairy tale.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's different.
that.
It's different again. It's like I said, it wasn't initially. I almost ran a mile because it's not what. If you listen to what I did before, and all that sort of stuff, it's not what. There's no.
Compared to Tupac, it's the other.
I'm pretty sure he's. Dave Anderson doesn't have the Deftones in his CD collection. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe he does, but no, it just gave me a brilliant introduction to the Melbourne music scene, and we got to play with a lot of different people, and I saw a lot of singer-songwriters, loads of singer-songwriters in Australia, loads. If you can play, like I said, if you can play an acoustic guitar, sing a song, stomp on a stomp pad, keep a beat, there's loads of guys out there.
Yeah, a bit more chilled, a bit more.
Yeah, it is. It's Sunday session, it's coffee shops, those are the gigs you get, and those are the ones that get you paid.
So no, dirty, dingy.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, there is, but you have to be a bit more quality. They don't just let any old Tom, Dick, Harry, whatever play them. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't know any of those players. This is pretty much one of the first guys I met when I got over there. You
answered that ad, and then
and because I got in that scene, they don't really cross over. You don't really get acoustic guys playing. You have like an acoustic night at a venue. So then it's all acoustics, So it was good though. It was good. Don't get me wrong, And so, but while that was going on, I was always looking for that, the thing that would get me playing the sort of bass I wanted to play, a bit harder, a bit fuzz, distortion, all that, envelope filters and all that sort of stuff. And I tried.
So you've always been like with Two-Play. You were basically the lead guitar role.
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
kind of. I mean, Grant did a lot, but
yeah, it was amazing. It was a great.
And
you don't get. And this is probably a good time to talk about the next thing I got involved with. Really, is and I almost tried. I did not try to recreate, but I did meet a bass player. And he was a good guy, you know what I mean? A guy called Ken, and his bass skills were good, and his songwriting abilities was very much like Grant's. Actually, it was cool, you know what I mean? And it was cool, and I sort of found myself doing it all again, doing the 2 bass player, 1 drummer sort of thing again. Wow. Yeah, and we ended up calling ourselves Octopi.
Yeah,
and there is a few demos out there, but and we did some really nice gigs. And it was slightly different to Tupac. It wasn't as hard edged as Tupac. It was a bit more funk, slicker. Tupac was, we were quite aggressive at times. You know what I mean? I
was a huge Tupac fan. That's how I met you.
Yeah, it's mad.
I was a fan of the band before we were,
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just remember you coming around my house with Esbjörn Svensson.
Yeah.
Trio
you just met with your girlfriend.
Yeah. That's it. To cheer me
You
up.
were crying in the shed.
I was crying in my little back shed. Oh man, how many years ago was that? But so yeah, it was good. Octopi was a good band while it lasted, but I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't.
So you were hoping this would get you into those venues?
Well, yeah, I was hoping to play, and we did. We played some really different gigs, and we played out in the sort of in the boonies of Australia as well. We played this one particular gig out in the forest, like a campground, which was in the boonies, yeah, just in the backwoods, whatever you want to call it. But and it was mental, and it was really good, and we were really well accepted and all this, and we were a bit more, I think. Yeah, we were just more jam orientated and all that, and it was good, but it just didn't work out really. But I can probably find.
But sometimes that happens. There's nothing to do with how good the band is. It's just
yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it. And it was also a distance thing as well. I was still down on the peninsula. He was up in the city, and we were trying to get things together. And it would, just loads of stuff just got in the way. So it didn't happen, sadly. But that's all good. I haven't got a bit on us now. But we can insert a clip because there's a couple of things.
We'll play the clip and then we'll have to pretend that we just listened
to it. I know, that's right? It. Yeah. Put it in now.
This energy, it's not natural to me. I need a kick in the head if I'm going to see my way through the morning on the way to the eve. Until I have my first sip, it almost hurts to breathe. I can't believe my coffee being green. Perhaps this shit should be illegal to me. What am I saying? I've a right to be free. So get your hands off my cup, I'm gonna have free. Sometimes it pays to be fast. Sometimes you slip on your ass. It's not the way it should be. It's just the way it should be.
Well, I have to say that was one of the most groundbreaking, earth-shattering pieces of music I've ever heard.
Well, then, yes, That's,
I look forward to hearing it.
So well, I got to find it first. It's on an old PC somewhere from 8 years ago. So anyway, I'll find it. But it just reminded me, there was a track called Black Coffee that I'll probably end up sending.
Okay.
So you've probably just heard Black Coffee.
Okay.
Anyway. Oh man, I did other stuff. I hate this, man. I hate talking about myself.
Why?
I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. It's kind of like, I'm pleased that I've done some stuff, but it's just odd to have to do it. But anyway.
I was going to say, is this why you're a bass player? But then you're not the kind of bass player to ever hide at the back of the stage and you're...
No, yeah, I think... do you know what? I'm a bass player because I played guitar before I played bass, and I would never want to say, oh, I'm a failed guitarist, so I'm a bass player. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't get guitar. I learned guitar and I learned loads of stuff on it, and I learned chords and nice
you play
sounds.
Great guitar now.
Well, I love playing guitar now, and that's where I'm at now. I play more guitar now than I do bass, possibly. But I have this. I always have that. I'm a bass player at heart, sort of vibe, but the guitar inspires me at the minute, probably because I played so much bass. And the guitar still feels fresh. Yeah.
No.
Tick. Never. Tick. God, yeah. Wooten. No. But no, I love guitar, but bass is a foreground instrument to me anyway. Yeah. Think of all the bands we grew up listening to.
Well, I was going to say, Tupac, you were at the front of the stage.
Yeah, we were all working.
Carol's Capuchin, you were basically the frontman.
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, I don't know so much about that. I used to love watching you two guys play, to be honest. If you ever watch an old gig on YouTube of Caroline's gig, you probably see me side on just watching you two. Just wondering what Robbie's going to do next and how I have to react. So, I love those days. Yeah. I love those days. And I still think there's more in us.
Yeah.
Because there's since I've been back, we've done 2 rough demos.
Yeah.
Which, we should get them down, and we should get them out there, because I still know people to this day who compliment that album. It's awesome.
Should we put a bit on?
Yeah,
20 seconds worth. I'm sure.
Put a Caroline's on. Put a Caroline's on.
Okay, here we go.
What?
Which one should we choose?
I don't know. What do you reckon?
I've always thought Deepest Fall is my
Deepest Fall is the one. Yeah, that's the pinnacle for me.
Count as Capuchin?
Yep. See, for me, not to go on and blow our own trumpets too much, but for me, that song, that's got power, grace. You know, I mean, we did that, and we weren't a gentle band live, even though we were supposed to be three-piece jazz, whatever. You know, we smashed it out live.
I don't know if I've ever told you, I sent, Neil Cowley.
Yes.
Amazingly famous, plays with Adele and has his own amazing trio. I sent it to him, and his comment was, "Wow, that's got balls."
Ah,
I told you that.
Send him which one particular track?
That one,
Deepest Fall. Yeah.
He says, "Wow, that outro had balls."
Yeah.
Coming from him with his music, that's quite.
Well, that whole era, I loved that. I remember recording that song. I remember, with Lewis. Mm-hmm. He's gone on to. I don't know. This is what I'm missing. I'm missing 10.
He's gone on to like amazing.
Yeah, I hope so, because he should do, because he used to blow my mind. His mixing abilities and skills, even back then, and he was quite fresh to it back then,
Well, we've just had our 10-year anniversary for what? Well, maybe that was 18 months ago, perhaps.
Wow, and he did that recording for us, and amazing. I just loved doing it. But the band was, it still is, hopefully, if we can get our proverbial shit together. Yeah, I'd still love to do more stuff, because I know there's more in us, and I know there's a second album and all that sort of stuff, and hopefully more gigs. So, but that's all right. When and as. But yeah.
So okay. So we go back to the story of Karl. We were just talking about
the story of Karl.
Octopi. I think is always.
Well, yeah, Octopi sort of was fading in and out. Mm-hmm. I was trying to find some local musicians so I didn't have to drive, 3 hours every night to and back to rehearsal and all this sort of stuff. And
did they make you pay for rehearsals, too?
Yeah, everything costs. Every musician just loves paying for rehearsals. But and I started playing a bit of rockabilly bass with a guy that I did about 4 or 5 rehearsals with him, and smashed my hand up trying to do the whole double stop rockabilly on a double bass, and it was just like, killer.
Did you have your foot up in the thing?
All this sort of stuff, but I had my electric still. I still didn't have a full body, so it was not right, and that fell apart. And but I did have a covers band that was running in the background of all of this, which was like a rock covers band.
Oh, cool.
Called we had about 1 million names, and a drummer called Mark, amazing, great guy, helped me out a lot in Australia while I was over there, and just kept coming back when I first met him. Kept coming back and saying, "Come on, join this band," and even pretended to be a girl and join this band. And it was just like, you're mental. But anyway, and we did good, and we did loads of gigs and good paying gigs as well. But we did the classics. You know what I mean? Real classic.
Go on, give us a list.
Oh man, everything from what's that? Heat Is On.
Oh wow!
Awesome stuff like that. Classic 80s, cool. Tina Turner, Sex on Fire, all the classics that you hear these bands. we'd have like a 60-song list, like most decent covers bands do, you know. And we played to cricket clubs. We did weddings. We blasted this one person's wedding. And I'm like, they wanted it just hard and loud, but the bride really didn't.
Oh, right.
So he just obviously just blown the band budget on us and said, play a wedding, play all these songs, Slayer.
Bit of Rain and Blood, yeah.
Yeah,
perfect.
I'm sure, yeah. It was just funny anyway. A bit of Metallica, you know.
So what did she do then when you started?
Well, she just had to go with it, and everyone
She had no choice.
everyone was dancing. So
Who is she anyway?
yeah, it's only her day. But anyway, that was an ongoing thing pretty much up until I left. So we were called a million names. I think we were called Poke It With a Stick. We ended up being called Dead Air Riot. And the songs morphed more towards sort of Queens of Stone Agey, sort of more, you know, we did, you know, more choice covers rather than the cliche jizz that most bands do. But anyway, but two of my highlights in that mid-years was...
So mid-years, which years are there?
Well, I
you
met...
were there in 2007, we worked out. What's it, 2010, 2011?
Probably there, yeah, probably around then. Actually, when were these? Let's have a look at the albums. This is how bad my memory is. All right, yeah, well, it was about that, probably about 2011.
Okay.
I met a guy who came to the Peninsula, a bit of a traveller, hillbillies type, a chap called Phil Barlow, and he was a nice guy. He was a wannabe sort of blues man, and he was just starting out on the guitar, but he had this voice which I thought, yeah, that's all right, you know, that's all right. And I had my studio in my house, and he came round and said, I said, oh mate, I wanted to record anything.
So how did you meet him? Were you just...
I think he was having it off.
Oh no! Should I not have asked?
No, he was a friend of a friend and friend, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Okay, all right.
Having it off. He was having it off with a friend.
Let's leave it at that.
So leave it at that. And basically we did a little demo in my house of him singing and playing acoustic guitar and good little songs, little singer-songwriter style again, but with a bluesy edge and a bit gritty and a bit dirty. And he said, I'm putting these tracks down. He's actually from Brisbane, which was up.
So is that's Australia, right?
Australia.
No, it's not that bad, but where in Australia?
Yeah, Melbourne's down, okay. Brisbane's right up, right.
Oh, so it's a long way away.
It's a long way away, right. Yeah. It's a bit of a drive, probably a flight. Okay. And he said, I'm putting these tracks down in a studio up there. And I thought, yeah, he's full of shit. Because I looked the studio up, and it's quite a prestigious one up there. It's nice written. Anyway, he goes, I'll send you a plane ticket and you can come up and do the bass parts. And I was like, yeah, see you around. Really, whatever sort of thing. Literally in my email 4 days later, plane tickets.
Wow.
Yeah, so he flew me up. I couldn't believe it.
So this first jam of yours must have gone really well.
Yeah, I actually couldn't believe it. I was like, this is nuts. I just met this guy and he's flying me up to record on an album he's doing, you know. And
wow.
It's cool, and it was a brilliant experience because I got to meet people that changed my, changed my existence in Australia basically as well.
Is this? Would you say this is what you were looking for when you said when you said at the beginning you landed in Australia and you were a bit lost and you were...
No, I lost my way so many times. I'll be honest. I was always looking for that. I don't even know. I can't even tell you now. But you know, I'm glad I found all this stuff.
But I mean, we just take stock. I mean, you landed there. You didn't have any contacts. You didn't know any venues or any people, and you just turned up basically just a bloke with a bass. Yeah. And now some guy after one rehearsal is flying you to the other side of the country.
I know, it was mental.
Amazing.
It was yeah.
It's quite a leap, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a leap. It was nice, and that leap led to me meeting the people that. For the next few years, because that's what they were the musicians I used in the next few years of.
So for the guys in his band.
Yeah, so basically Phil Barlow had met all these people, and he'd met a drummer, a chap called Sweeten Barak, and who is still a bloody good friend to this day. Mate, if you're listening, I hope all is good.
So this is the album I'm holding now, is it?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the first one we produced.
That's cool. And Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising.
I'm looking at a red cover.
He's online. He's online. He's still going strong. He does. I know. I haven't been in touch with him for a little while because obviously, no, we didn't fall out or anything. He's busy. I'm busy. Life goes on. And
but you moved back to the other side of the.
Yeah. Also, I moved well away from.
But so we'll say 60-40 your fault. Yeah.
Say again.
60-40 your fault.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't look for this, and it's not the sort of music I've ever listened to. I've never been a blues man. I've never loved blues or whatever it is. I don't even know if it is blues. It's just.
Well, should we put some on?
Put some on.
Should we have a listen?
Put some on.
Okay.
From the first track, you know. I mean, this is his first effort at writing songs, and I think it's not a bad effort.
What's it called?
I actually can't remember. What song should we choose from here? Let's play a bit of play a bit of Typical Woman.
Typical Woman. Okay. Typical Woman. Here we go.
A typical woman. You don't need no powder on your nose. You don't need to impress me with your clothes. A typical woman, I want you. Typical woman, I want you.
That was fat.
I was lucky in that one. I got to add some of my own.
So which bass were you playing then? I mean, just for our bass geeks out here.
Do you know what?
If I close my eyes and picture Karl, the bass player, it's the growler. It's that.
I still use that.
The toupee bass.
Yeah, I've got the growler. I still play that.
Was that bass, or which bass was that?
That bass was an Eastwood Thunderbird.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it yours?
I bought it out there.
Oh,
I got it shipped over. I saw. I love Mike Watt is a massive influence on me. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I like. Not so much. I don't know. Maybe not so much his playing anymore, but his ethos of everything. You know what I mean? And with Toupee, we loved that. It was punk rock. You know what I mean? Punk rock is what you make it, and all that sort of stuff. So, and I saw him playing a non-reverse T-Bird. I think they're called non-reverse.
Mm-hmm.
But and I was like, why do I like that so much? And then I saw that Eastwood they resurrect guitars that aren't made anymore for like half the price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I spent about $600 plus $150 getting it shipped over, and it was compared to the Growler, compared to the Tobias, compared to the Elric boutique Canadian $3,000 thing I got. You know, it was shit. But
sounded great there.
Oh, it just had two humbuckers.
Yeah.
And it just sounded fat.
Yeah.
Whenever I plugged it in, just straight tone. It just had two dials. Dial them both up, bang. It was like, and that's what you want a bass to do, essentially. You know, so I used that. I used it on stage.
So did you gig much for these guys?
Yeah. We gigged a lot. He kept flying me up to Brisbane, which was just lovely. You know what I mean? Or I can't even remember. And he'd come down. We did a tour of Melbourne and all that sort of stuff as well. Mm-hmm. He came down and did 5 or 6 gigs with with some of the members of the covers band, the Poke with a Stick guys. Yeah, they played very graciously, and yeah, it was good. It was a good time, you know, and it was just fun. It was just fun because I was playing the louder venues with a sort of blues band, you know, and solo guitarists doing solos and stuff like that, and we were playing. The drummer gets to hit out rather than sit on a cajon going toop tappa toop tappa. You know, and can you keep the volume down? We're trying to have a coffee here. Right, so I got into those venues. And we finally played the St Kilda venue that I was on about with Phil Barlow, and it was a good set, and it was loud and brash and nice, you know, and so it was a good twist, good take, you know. But moving on quickly because I know I'm yabbering.
No, it's fine. Yabbering is good.
It's this thing. It's just reminding me. It's making me smile as I'm talking about it. The musicians I met with the Phil Barlow thing. I met a guitarist called Joe Fallon. He's a wonderful. This guy was he's a 7-string progressive rock monster. You know what I mean? He's what he can't do, like tapping, and he's amazing. He's what a wonderful guy. He's a computer whiz that now he teaches old people core strengths. He's such an amazing character. Yeah, he's such a different guy. But obviously, he didn't do the progressive stuff with Phil Barlow and the Wolf. He did.
Did we just hear him then? Was he on?
I can't remember if he's on that particular track, but I'm sure I'll try and pick another. He was more prolific on the second album that we did together as a band. Obviously, he was just finding his blues as well. And it was lovely. And I know that was kind of a reggae track, but I swear to God, most of Phil Barlow's stuff is like bluesy rock. But he, so I'm still in touch with him today. Joe Fallon. We messaged each other the other day, just checking in. Are we okay with each other and all that sort of stuff. Drummer, there's a chap called Sweeten Barak. I mentioned him before. I still talk to him. Mm-hmm. He's actually got a YouTube channel because he's actually a professional musician, and he plays with all the top guys up in Brisbane on the blues scene. Drum teacher, amazingly lovely guy, amazing. There's a track on that album where a girl called Kahiwa does backing vocals.
Oh, I've heard her name before.
Well, yeah, that's where we're headed.
Oh, okay, sorry. Did I jump the gun a bit?
No, you're all right. But she's a great voice, ukulele player, and I kept in touch with her, and that led off to all sorts of places because I ended up playing in her band and writing music with her, and touring the country again with her.
So where did she live? Was she up in Brisbane?
She used to live in Brisbane.
Yeah.
But she'd actually moved down to Adelaide, which is about as far on
That's where they filmed Neighbours.
No, Neighbours is Melbourne.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Where was Home and Away filmed?
That's Melbourne, I think, too, isn't it?
What was filmed in Adelaide then?
Nothing happens in Adelaide. No, I like Adelaide. Adelaide's a nice town. But Adelaide is the place you get wolf whistled. If you've got long hair and you're a boy, the Aborigines still fancy you. So that sounds terrible. That's no way to do. That's just what happened to me. Anyway, but now Adelaide's a good town. But she moved down there, but the thing with her, so I can't remember the time frame. I think I might have done some stuff with Kahiwa in between the two Phil Barlow albums.
Well, this album here says 2015. Was this a later album I'm looking at here?
No. That's so. Yeah, I think maybe. Which one was? Hold on, let's check the Phil Barlow one here. Doesn't say a thing, does it? But no, I can't remember the time frame. My memory is not what it used to be. But basically, it was a great. Me and Phil was a great catalyst to meet all these other great players, and I'm still in touch with them today, and I'd probably still be playing with them today if I was still living over there. It's just a bit hard being across many miles of ocean. But and luckily with her, she came down to my place and did the same thing again. Did a demo, which I started producing more and just spending time on when I was home, and I started realising these are catchy tunes, and she's got a great voice, and it's got a sort of style of I don't know, but I don't know. Put something on.
Okay, what should we put on?
Put on a track called Goddess.
Okay.
Because we recorded this, and there's another segue link in this as well, because the drummer I got to play on this song, I didn't really know it at the time, but I ended up in a band with him for the last portion of my stay in Australia. So and he played awesomely again. It was another Robbie moment where I said, "Mate, I've just met you, but can you play on this song?" And he did a wonderful job. So play a bit of Goddess and
okay. Here we go.
Minutes turn to hours, and still it's you and me. You should have known one little eyes, in your eyes. I'm your goddess, and I'll bless you with my mark.
So while that was on there, you were telling me you got to this guy's house, the drummer's house.
Yeah. I'd again got annoyed at driving back and forth the city, so I finally made a decision that I was going to find some local musicians. I couldn't believe my luck when this guy answered an advert on a web page, which is like a Peninsula, Mornington Peninsula sort of music. And I reckon there was literally 14 adverts on there. And this guy contacted me, and he's world class. It turns out he used to live in Brisbane. He knows some of the guys that this other chap, Sweet, and it's very incestuous. I didn't realise how incestuous it was, even though I suppose it was in Southampton. I remember we all used to know each other.
You're talking about a massive country, not?
Well, I suppose, yeah. But it was just mad how it worked out. How he used to. His mum and dad, who were world-class players as well. His dad was a saxophone and flute player, and his mum was a singer, like a jazz blues singer to die for. And we had a jam once, actually, and it's definitely one of my highlights of making music in Australia. I wish we'd recorded it, because we made a song about... She sang a song about what actually I thought was a sexy woman, and she was being jealous, but it was her husband's fascination with a Fender guitar.
All right.
It was called the curves of the guitar. I thought they were curves of a woman. Shows where my mind's at. But anyway, it was sung in that way. You know what I mean? It was led to lead you off the track, whatever. But I said to him, mate, I've got this EP I'm producing. I just met him. Can I come round? Can you put some drums on it? So I set the mics up. And by the time I'd set the mics up and got everything running, get everything sounding halfway decent.
Which I know takes a while, especially in a drum kit.
Yeah, and I didn't go mad. I did a sort of a 4 mic thing, a couple of condensers.
In his front room, was it? Or?
No, it was in his. He had a shed.
Okay.
Or a shed. You've got to have a shed if you're Australian.
Yeah, shed and barbecue.
Shed, barbie. Well, we did have a barbie, but and basically, I pressed record on the track. I gave him a quick listen so he could get the tempo. Pressed record on the track, and he smashed in. I did hand signals when I knew I got open out
your
hand
semaphore.
signals. Yeah. So he gave, and when I opened out, obviously he went over to the ride and made the song bigger. And I think he literally did it in 2 takes, 1 take, 2 takes. And I took a drum fill from the second one because it was awesome. And I think there's a bit in the track where the snare just rings beautifully, and it's in a perfect spot. I love it. I was really proud. That at that stage of trying to record music and all that sort of stuff, how it turned out. And yeah, mate, I still owe him, you know. But
so tell me more about the singer, though. Tell me.
She's lovely. I didn't realise how there was a whole scene. There's scenes. There's scenes everywhere, isn't there? Everywhere you go around the world, there's punk scenes, whatever, rock scenes, whatever. She was involved in the ukulele scene, which is vast and sprawling, and it took me by surprise. Because honestly, she'd say, "Oh right, we've got a gig," and I'm like, "Cool," and she's like, "It's in Darwin." I'm like, "All right, that's about as far away as I can get in Australia."
So where?
Darwin is the northern territory of Australia, so it's right up, and it's so hot, beautiful place, like. It's just mental.
So did you have to drive then, or
no? Fly. I have to fly everywhere in Australia, and which is cool. And it's a ukulele festival that we're playing, and you get there, and they all know each other, and these are thousands of people who know each other, and you go to a ukulele festival, and there is say for instance, it's 500 people there. This particular one. 500 of them have their ukuleles on them. It's crazy. It was blowing my mind. I have my big upright, the double bass, whatever, and I'm just like, I'm literally the only one here who doesn't play ukulele. And there's.
I think you were still louder though, weren't you?
Yeah, I was loving it. It was good. It was nice, and we still love it. So, and me and her bounced off each other quite well because we had a bit of comedy going where, you know, I mean, she's a lovely girl, and we'd have banter on stage, and she'd be quite prim and proper, and I'd be a little bit smutty or whatever, like I've always
had. Rude
been.
Englishman.
No, yeah, exactly that, and you know, and it was great. And then we do gigs in Sydney, and Brisbane, and Melbourne, and we do all the ukulele festivals, and I couldn't believe how big the scene was, and it's such beautiful, friendly people, and like they have about 4 or 5 open mic stages at these places, and everyone would get up and do something at some point over a festival. It's not like any other festivals I've ever been to. It was really good. You know, if you didn't like ukulele, please just don't go.
It's not for you.
Oh my life! I can't tell you how it isn't for you. But brilliant. And we wrote music. She'd send me stuff online because she lived in Adelaide, lived in Melbourne. I'd go down to Melbourne, stay with her and her boyfriend, and her boyfriend is a world-class chef.
Oh, wow.
I don't think that's what he does for a living. He just, oh man, the breakfast he cooked me one morning. I'm going to talk about that.
I bet just generally in Australia, especially on the coast, the food is good.
Yeah,
good fish
fresh. And actually, to be without sounding like a weirdo, but like everything's produced there because obviously it costs money to import stuff, so they produce stuff there. And even though food's probably a bit more expensive than it is over here, it's just better. I truly believe, but just better quality. Just the stuff, the veggies aren't on the shelves for as long as they are over here, or you know, and all this sort of stuff. Not that means anything, but it is what it is, and it just Not that I ate vegetables when there's better food out there. Anyway,
you can barbecue a vegetable, can you?
Yeah, you can barbecue some vegetables.
Okay.
Well, yeah, not that you do. It's not coloured like meat, is it? But anyway, it's not the Australian way. No, it was good times. But so we produced that EP, First Kiss, and released it and toured it. And she actually floated her car up north, like on a trailer, and we flew up north, and then we drove her car all the way down the coast back down.
Floated her car?
Well, I put it on a flatbed truck.
Oh, right.
And got someone to drive it up there, or a train.
Why
probably.
didn't you drive the car? Just too far?
Well, it was just too far to drive up there and drive back.
Yeah.
We just didn't have that sort of time because it takes decent time, you know. So we started the tour up the top of Australia and travelled down, and I just met some amazing, beautiful people. You know what I mean? Like I'd rock up at a bowling club one afternoon, and there's a ukulele club going on, and there's. It was amazing. There's like a 5-year-old girl with a ukulele all the way through to an 89-year-old woman playing ukulele, all playing the same song. And there's about 50 people in this room. And they're all finding themselves, relearning music. It was wonderful, singing and playing. I was like, And I was envious because I still can't sing and play very well. I was like, damn, I should be taking lessons from these geezers. But anyway, it's good. But in all that time, we did another Phil Barlow album. I was still trying to write my own stuff and struggling.
It's true, actually. Everything. I mean, you turn it with your own CD, but actually, everything so far has been sideman Karl. Right?
Yeah, that's just who I'd be. That's what I do. I think. I don't know. There's a part of me that doesn't want to, and that's probably why I'm doing this right now, because I have written so much material.
Were you writing for these guys as well?
Or was it purely their music all the bass lines I put in were my.
Yeah.
You know, they'd have the melodies and the chords of the song, but anywhere I could put something in, you know what I mean? That's what I love to do. I think I can. That's why Caroline's appeals to me so much. You come with an idea, and I bounce off that, and it may not be what should be played. You know, and sometimes you do have to stick to the rules a bit, but sometimes, you know, I mean, if it sounds good, sort of thing, and that's the vibe. That's what I love. I love reacting to stuff, and I struggle. You know, I play you a million riffs on the guitar right now.
Yeah. Well, you came over a few weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a good jam. It was really good, and I will pursue But that was good for me. Even though I've done 20 years of music here, I mean, I've played with loads of different people, and you know, and got to do some crazy good stuff. But I still, I don't know. I think I just lack that last bit of confidence to push something I've created out and just be like, yeah, that's done. That's it. I like that. It's good. But doing that in front of you was really nice for me because it made me hear what I'm doing in a completely different way. And I'm like, oh no, I won't pursue that anymore. But that sounded good. Yeah. Let's pursue that. You did one line. I hope you remember the bass line, man, because that was a good bass line.
No way.
It was good. It was.
I'm rubbish at that. It comes out
man,
and
yeah, well, I'm hoping the riff will instigate that mind loop, and you come back with a. It was good. It was good. See, that should have been recorded. But anyway, we digress.
So there's one band I want to ask you about. It's the Barefoot Sundays.
Yes, that is it. That's probably that was me. I'll be brutally honest. That was me relenting on all goals of being in a punk rock smash out. Not relenting. That's harsh words, but that was me sort of realising that all music's important, and we all know this.
So let's pause and let's have a listen before we talk about it.
All right.
I stare at an empty space in my room, hoping that my chance will come someday. Soon will I have to find it, or will you find me? Space in my room, hoping that my chance will come someday. Soon will I have to find it, or will you find me?
That was really cool. I like that.
Yeah, that was like I said. That's me doing something like I never thought I'd end up doing, and it's great. And I got to sing
too poppy, or
no, just maybe just too
Oh, sorry, kicking the table.
I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not insulting it at all. I loved it. I can't, and I miss those guys on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Because when I told them I was leaving to come back here, it was a beautiful Sunday. We used to. That's why we were called Barefoot Sundays. We used to rehearse.
Not sing on Sunday.
No, yeah. We used to rehearse on Sundays.
Skimpy shorts
in Mike's awesome shed, and I knew I had to come. I knew I was leaving and all this sort of stuff, and things were changing for me, and you know, and all this sort of stuff. And I told Tom. Tom's awesome because Tom's just like so positive. He's like, "Oh man, great, on to bigger, better things. Cool, good on you, good luck, and all this." Whereas Mike was like, "Oh,
so hold on, I've got the CD here. Tom is
Tom's singer and guitarist. Yeah,
and Mike is the drummer. Okay.
Mike's the drum.
Okay,
and both brilliant people, and Mike was just like, "Oh, you bastard, you just ruined my day." Because we were just getting, you know, we recorded these tracks and we were trying to get them produced, and they actually produced them after I'd left Australia, and they got them out, but we had 10, 15 better songs again. I think, you know, because this was us just instigating the band, you know, these sort of songs. And like one of the songs on the EP is called Reason and Rhyme.
Reason and Rhyme, yeah.
Yeah, and Tom says it's the first song he ever wrote. You know what I mean? And it literally is. It's E and A, you know, and it just sounds like one of those. But it worked, and the band worked, and they were great guys, and it was just easy living. And we'd play festivals to no one. We'd play, you know, little bars to no one. And we played. We had a good little fan base towards the end there, you know. But it was just like starting out. It was like going back and starting out as a teenager in your first band all over again. And that's what I think. That's me. I just released everything that I'd aspired to be, or I thought I wanted to be, or maybe what I felt like I needed to be because of all that I had done. Probably not making much sense here, but
no.
I kind of released all that. and found these guys at the same time, and I don't know, I was going to say, and found love. No, but found some musical appreciation.
Yeah.
And my playing's not amazing for the songs. There's no biggity boom, flea slappage going on, whatever. But you know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just the songs were great and the people enjoyed them, and we got, we played the venues where you could hit out, but we were still acoustic. so the coffee shop is still like this.
There, yeah.
And just a great band. And yeah, it was very sad that I had to leave. And I still.
So are they still going then?
Well, I think they have done gigs since I've been away. They've done gigs as a duo.
Okay.
With like sort of a broken down sort of part. And I did find the guy who bought my rig. I sold a lot of stuff before I left. The guy who bought my rig, he was a good bass player. And I said, mate, you should. I showed him the band, I gave him a CD and said, you should play for these guys. You know what I mean? Feeling like, but I don't
Passing
think
the torch.
Yeah, it didn't come to fruition. And I still hope that we did talk about them coming over here to England to play. And I don't know if that would be something England or the venues would like, and sort of an Aussie band, you know what I mean? And because it was, because they're typical Aussie band. It was great, really, really good, and it was the best. It was a brilliant days, and I loved it, and we did, But sadly, there's 7 songs out there which are real, and then there's 15 tracks on a PC that I've got recorded as demos, which are the better ones. That I'd still love to make them real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, dude.
Well, that's
it's a shame, isn't it?
That's what I'm realising now. You know what I mean? And hopefully these guys are listening. And I just want to tell them, dude, guys, I miss you. We were awesome. It was good fun. It was great days, and hopefully we'll meet up again soon. That'd be awesome. But that was it. And then now I'm back here. I've been writing for a year.
Yeah.
I've done
Your songs are really cool.
I've done 1 gig with yourself in the year I've been back.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd be really disappointed and down about that. I thought I might just jump back in and do some things, but it's very different. I'm in a different mindset. I'm not the person I used to be.
It's your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday.
I'm about 54 tomorrow or something. No. No. But no, yeah, I know, and it's just odd, and I think you making me do this, do this.
Being belligerent, saying you've got to do it.
Because I came round tonight with some CDs saying, we should rip the tracks that we might play and record another time, but he's like, no, we're doing it tonight.
No, just sit down and talk to me.
I'm like, all right. But no, it's good because I don't know. I'm excited to challenge myself again and become a bit more. I don't want to be a front man, but just challenge myself and do the singing and playing thing and get some original music out there. That I think, and there's some groovy. They're groovy, aren't they? They're catchy and groovy, and
they're brilliant. They're great.
I'm quite pleased with them. So I just need to hit that final nail and make them an entirety of themselves, and then start playing them to people, I think, and see how it goes.
I'm going to ask you a tricky question here.
Oh.
How do you think the Karl Evans of 2017 is different to the Karl Evans of 2007? How do you think your 10 years in Australia and your experiences and your bands and your tours and your gigs and everything, how do you think it's changed you? How do you think? What kind of Karl Evans do we have now after those 10 years?
Oh man, that's a crazy question. I'm thinking back to who I used to be, or who I was. Not saying I'm not still like that. There's still elements of me. I still smash Jane's Addiction in my van and sing like a wild card, you know what I mean, and love that stuff and just want to be that. I love the toupee sort of wild card. I love, I'm not going to lie, I love those days. I don't know, I think...
And obviously,
this sounds really, really wrong, but I feel that Australia broke me... Because I had everything I kind of aspired to before I left for Australia. everything I wanted, I got. I had nice gear, I had nice places, I had good bands, good songs, good friends, good everything. You know what I mean? And I still wonder why I did it sometimes. You know what I mean? That sounds brutal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I still wonder why I did it. But I don't know. There's something inside of me at the time that just needed. I needed to do something different. I needed a challenge. I needed to change up. I just needed to. I don't know. I was just. And it was a massive opportunity offered to me, which, and in some respects, it was a shitty thing to do because it messed me up, you know what I mean? Honestly, even though that sounds dramatic, but it's definitely changed me. But, at the same time, what an awesome opportunity it was, you know what I mean? And I'm pleased I did it because I think I'm definitely different. I'm definitely more grown up. I want different things. I think I aspire to. Aspire to quality over quantity. I try and do that with my beers as well nowadays. Quality over quantity.
You have moved from Brewdog to Corona though.
Well, I know. That's only because I've got to drive. But no, I think I don't need to do things. I used to do a lot of things for other people, and I used to do music stuff for other people, and I really didn't need to. Mm-hmm. And I really, really now feel like I need to do it for myself.
Yeah.
Just because making other people happy is nice, and it's all good and nice, you know what I mean? But I think I don't know. I'm just, especially finding the barefoots and just having that feeling, just releasing everything, just going, yeah, this is cool. This is it. This is success. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is success, and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And it's still the same ethos of all the bands I've in. We've all been bands, and we all play to two people and all that sort of stuff. And and like Tupac used to say, you know what I mean, to your mum and your nan. You know what I mean? And it's exactly that. But it doesn't matter. We still played, and we still did it, and I still want to keep that ethic. But I kind of, I just want to challenge myself and maybe impress myself now, rather than constantly trying to impress other people, because that's all I ever used to do 15 years ago, whatever, It was all about being the big man, maybe a bit, but in a good way, in a cheeky way, you know what I mean? Not in a completely self-absorbed manner. I still think I've made people smile, but the future, hopefully, is brighter.
I'm sure it is.
I hope so.
Well, thank you for coming in to... Thank you for letting me badger you into doing this.
Thanks for making me do it. But now this is good because it's a starter, and I need something to kickstart me to carry on now, and get some projects going, and make you play bass.
Should we play them a goodbye song?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give something slow. I'm on the guitar, Karl's singing.
Oh, geez, really?
You ready?
Can I use my special?
You're going to find some lyrics?
I'm going to flick through this book
and
find some lyrics, which will probably... This is a book that I had in Australia the first times I was there. Here we go.
Full of little spidery handwriting and...
Okay, please, this is...
Okay.
Right.
What's it called?
It's called Wasp.
Wasp, here we go. We'll fade out of this.
All right. That's exactly not how I needed it to go, but it doesn't matter.
It's not tune either.
I'm going to harness my old age lady pensioner voice.
Okay, here we go.
Have you ever listened to a wasp bouncing on a window?
Keep it together.
Sorry.
If you listen closely, you'll hear his mind about to blow. All he wants to do is get out to the sun, but the glass is like a concept he just doesn't get. And it just adds to his frustration.
Chorus.
Just change direction, man. There's another way to go. Life's too short to be stuck
smashing your nut into a window. That's just.
Is there a second verse?
There's just. I can't even read my own writing. Oh.
We finished?
Oh, wait. There's a little line here that said, "These are the thoughts that leave a stain upon my brain. Wasps and windows."